So with the new season quite fastly approaching, and with most of the teams finished a lot of their transfer business, this time of year is pick 8 players that I'm excited to see, that I want to look out for, particularly this season. And I picked 2 from each region, and I'll just get straight into it, and you guys let me know what you think. So the first one I'm going to pick is for the Dragons, and it is actually McKenzie Martin. Now, he's gone on a loan, and he kind of came onto the scene really big last season, got called into the Wales squad after just a few games by Ron Gatland, and then he looked okay, but then this season he's just kind of fallen off a cliff, hasn't been able to get any game time for Cardiff, has ended up playing for the Rags a lot, got injured a bit, played a couple of games of second row, not sort of had the kick on that we were hoping for. So he's gone to Dragons, hoping to maybe get a bit more opportunity. He's still only 21 and he's been capped for Wales. So, you know, you think, oh, he's been on a couple of years, still only 21. He's a big guy. He's got all the raw athletic ability. And what he needs is to play and just keep building his confidence and move forward now, because whatever happened in under Gatland is gone now, and he basically needs to start his career again. Let's hope he can get chances at the Dragons. You know, Wainwright is going to be with Wales most of the time, so he is probably going to get chances there. So let's hope that he gets chances and kicks on. Then my next player was going to be for the Ospreys, is actually Harry Davies. Now I know Davies is a name familiar to most of us, and he's kind of felt like he's been around a while as well. But he is only 24, and the reason I picked him out is because Justin Tipuric has retired, so he's going to have massive shoes to fill. And now we're going to actually see him play 7, which is his main role. He's been playing a lot at 6 to accommodate the fact that Tipuric was in the Ospreys team. Obviously, Tipuric on the coaching staff now, so more learnings to come from him for Davies as well. But what I love about Davies, he's an absolute dog. He just loves it. He's into everything. He wants to be causing issues. I remember they were playing the Sharks, and he was sort of trying to wind up Etzebeth. And I was thinking, yeah, that's like, not many people do that, but he was like into it, and he wanted the bite. So I love that about him. He's not the biggest 7, but what he can offer in just doggedness, I think, is really important for the region. And you never know, could potentially, with some game time, see him in the thoughts maybe of Steve Tandy moving forward. Who knows? The Scarlets have gone for Joe Hawkins. It's a bit of a no-brainer. Him coming back to Wales is a massive thing for Welsh rugby, I think. The fact that he's been in the wilderness for 2 years now is just such a waste of potential, you know, caps and learnings that we could desperately use going forward. But the selection of Joe Hawkins for the Scarlets is going to be an interesting one, because he's kind of gone there probably as a 10. Ewan Lloyd is gone now. Charlie Titcombe is gone as well, who was probably going to be the backup for Sam Costello. So you think he's probably going to have to play 10 at some point. Has got some experience, but mainly played his senior rugby at 12. And that's where he played for Wales. That's where he played for the Ospreys. So is he going to just sort of change back to being a 10 and try and get a career that way? Or is he going to be playing in the centre? A lot of centres in the Scarlets, good ones as well. So there's not so much room there. So I'll be really interested to see what his skill set is going forward, because 10 is an issue for Wales still. And can he produce enough good performances to warrant getting picked for Wales in that position? Then moving on to Cardiff, the player I have gone for is Elijah Evans. Under 20s product, played a lot for the Rags last year, 5 tries in the season. He's 6'3", outside centre / wing. Now I've gone for him because Ray Lilo is retired. There's definitely room in that 13 position for Cardiff, and they need some young players to come through. 13 is also really a difficult place for Wales. We don't really have a 13 outside of Joe Roberts. So can Elijah Evans come in and get some game time first of all? That is the important thing. I think we might see him operate on the wing a bit as well, because the likes of Regan Grace has gone and Gabe Hamer-Webb. They haven't really replaced him, or them. So Elijah Evans could see himself on there. Played a lot on the wing for the under-20s in this year. So I think that could be an exciting developmental piece. You know, bring him through a couple of games. Because Cardiff have only really got Mason Grady, who's a recognised 13, and most people would say he's a winger. So it's an interesting position for Cardiff, and maybe Elijah Evans could start to address that if he can get some game time and develop. He was excellent for the Rags this season. Let's hope he continues that form into regional rugby. Then back at the Dragons for their second player, I've gone for Harry Bedel, who is the under-20s captain. He's come from Leicester, come back to the Dragons because I assume he wants to get some more game time and playing opportunities, wants to be in Wales. He's another one who's an absolute dog, an absolute workhorse, and getting, these young players back in Wales, these exciting players, is what we want to see. And I think it's going to be difficult for him to get some consistent game time with them signing Thomas Young. They've got Shane Lewis-Hughes, Harrison Keddy, but learning from these players first and foremost, learning from Thomas Young, and then maybe towards the end of the season, international windows, getting the odd game. He's a little bit undersized for back row for my liking, but what he lacks in size, he makes up in absolute just animal dog work, same as a Harry Davies type character. So interested to see him back in Wales and if he can get some games on regional level as well. Back to the Ospreys, we go on Ben Warren. Ben Warren has obviously played quite a lot last season, backing up Tom Botha. But why I think this could be a big season for Ben Warren is he's still 25, so he's played a fair bit of regional rugby now. Still young though in that role. And Tom Botha really kind of started falling off a cliff towards the end of the season last year, showing that age is catching up to him. And he basically offers next to nothing around the park. So if Ben Warren can start getting more starts over Tom Botha and take that jersey for himself, that could be very useful. Excuse me. Also, again, another problem position for Wales is tight head. So if he can start producing regular, when he was coming on, the scrum was still good. It wasn't like falling off a cliff. And he really got noticeably better as the season went on. So that's a positive. And if he keeps learning, keeps developing, we'll probably see him in a Welsh squad again. Scarlet second player, I've gone for another under-20s product, and that is Harry Thomas. Been an absolute standout for the under-20s for at least a year now. Really a busy hooker. He's excellent in the loose. Set piece, still got some work on, but in the loose, he's an absolute animal. Really good in the jackal area, really good with his ball carrying, scores plenty of tries. So he's going to probably get chances as well, because maybe Elias will be with Wales, not too sure, but Van der Merwe is going to be with South Africa, and how long they're going to be able to hold on to him if he continues to play the way he has last season. It won't be long. So Harry Thomas's development is going to be important to come through, and hopefully he can learn, some of the set pieces off like those guys, like Ryan Elias is apparently another extra worldly scrummager. So learning tips off players like that, and learning off Van der Merwe, who's been just absolute wicked, isn't he, for the Scarlets. So I'm excited to see Harry Thomas. Harry Thomas is a good player, and I think he's going to be a breakout star pretty soon. Then finishing up the list, I had to go with Tom Bowen. Burst on the scene. He got a chance to start against the Cheetahs and was absolutely tearing it up, basically untackleable at some points in that game. He's not the biggest, but he's very Shane Williams-esque. Really excellent footwork, and he just looks, when you get those players, they just look faster than everyone else. That's how he looks when he plays. And once he gets in some open space, he is literally gone. He is gone. Been really good for the under-20s as well. Can play fullback, though probably a little bit undersized for that. But again, same as Elijah Evans, there's been loss of wingers. You've got Hamer Webb, as I said, that has gone, and Regan Grace. So there is going to be chances for him to play. And, Theo Cabango's fitness has been really up and down over the last couple of years. So he's going to get game time. His try scoring record was for the Rags last season was 7 tries in 10 games. So that conversion rate is nothing to sniff at. Let's see if he can be a bit more consistent in getting performances and appearances, and then kick on from there. So that's my list. Let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you on the next one. Subscribe.